Hello, it's Monika from Crafting with Quilling Lady, and it is time for hashtag FFC Challenge 2023. In April, we're going to create a double slider card. In my tutorial, I've got 7 by 7 inches First Communion card. I think it is really cool and very easy to create. So first, let's start with a card base. I've got 4 inches by 9.5 white card, and I'm going to score it at half an inch, 7.5 of an inch, also 8.25 of an inch, and 9 inches. When this is ready, I'm going to fold and burnish those score lines, and that will be the back of my card. In the description down below, I left all the links to amazing crafters and their tutorials for double slider card who actually take part in that hashtag FFC Challenge 2023 collaboration hosted by Monika, PaperMona. As you can see, I've got a mountain, valley mountain at the bottom of my card. Now I've got 4 inches by 7 inches white card. I'm going to adhere them together using my one and only liquid glue. Super quick and easy. So if you've never ever tried this double slider card, I really encourage you to try it. It is super fun to create and you can use whatever is in your stash. And I can tell you that every single crafter created a slightly different version. So I really encourage you to give it a go. So now when this is ready, I'm going to cut the excess at the top and I'm going to create a mechanism for my double slider card. So to do it, I need a slightly smaller panel, and in this case, it's going to be 3.75 by 6.75 of an inch. I'm going to create a very tiny score lines. So first one is at 1/4 of an inch, very tiny. Then at 6.5 of an inch, I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees. A tiny score line at 1/4 of an inch and 6.5. Now I'm going to actually join those two score lines from the top to the bottom. However, make sure you don't do it at the very top and the bottom. When this is ready, I'm going to use my scissors to cut that excess off. And this will be the easiest way to make sure the plastic inside is going to stay there and it's not going to maneuver too much. So, if you haven't heard about hashtag FFC Challenge 2023, it is hosted by Monika, PaperMona. There are also other crafters taking part in this collaboration, including Christine, Katarina, Jenny, Sabine, Kerry, Emma, and Denise. All the links to the amazing tutorials are in the description down below. So now I need a little bit of plastic and I decided to use that plastic sleeve. However, you can also use some packaging as well for your mechanism. Just make sure it is not too thin and it's going to move freely inside of your card. I'm going to use my scissors to cut the excess off. To be honest, I use my guillotine to cut that plastic, but you can also use your scissors, and that's what I'm actually going to do in a moment because it was slightly too big. So, of course, you can use those plastic sleeves, and if you have any packaging for your stamps or cutting dies you're not going to use, I think that will be a perfect option as well. So, when this is ready, I'm going to wrap it around my amazing panel and I'm going to use my red liner tape just to secure both ends. But first I need to cut the excess off. Again, I'm going to use my scissors. When this is ready, I'm also going to burnish that double-sided tape, which is going to make it even stronger. And I really encourage you to do exactly the same. If you haven't tried this double slide card, I really encourage you to do so. It is a lot of fun to create and you can use whatever is in your stash. For my project, I decided to use one of my digital collections, a very recent collection. antique charm. I really like it, and I thought it will be perfect for First Communion. It has that beautiful, elegant look, but also a little bit of green. And I thought, First Communion is in May, in Poland at least. So I thought that would be a very good color. If you agree with me, please let me know in the comments down below. Now you have to make sure there is no tape sticking out, because if there is any there, the mechanism is not going to work. And that's not what we want. So now you can burnish it, and that will be so much easier to put those together. So as you can see, I've got the backing together with the tape. So now I'm going to burnish it using my scoring tool. And now I'm going to peel it off. If you want, you can also use your pokey tool to make your job easier. So now I'm going to fold the excess of that plastic sleeve, and I'm going to burnish it again. You can use your fingers for that. And now you have to make sure it moves around your panel to the left and to the right. However, I'm going to use my tape only on the left hand side just to make it easier for myself, and burnish it again. It will really make a difference later. So now when this is ready, I need two panels, and I'm going to use white card again. And these panels measure 4 1/2 by 6 1/4 of an inch. As you can see, I've got a new toy in my craft stash. So I've got that rounded corner punch, and I thought it would be perfect. To be honest, I got it 2 days ago, and I'm extremely happy with the purchase. Now, I've got two panels measuring 4 1/4 by 6 inches, and this is from my digital collection. If you'd like it, I left the links in the description down below. Also wanted to tell you that we've got Facebook group dedicated to that hashtag FFC Challenge 2023, where you can share your beautiful fancifuls there. And I really encourage you to do so. There are many, many fantastic crafters there. And if you would like to put it on your social media, all you have to do is to use that hashtag FFC Challenge 2023. And as I told you, April is dedicated to double slider card. I'm going to use another piece of red liner tape. Again, on the left hand side, burnish it and use my pokey tool to peel off the backing. However, I did struggle here a little bit, but do not worry, you can take your time here because red liner tape is very strong. So that one was actually a good idea. I'm going to put that panel here, and as you can see, it's going to move. But make sure it is lined up with the score line we actually had to cut off. And then on the other side, I'm going to stick another panel. But I decided to actually make it a little bit stronger. So I will need two panels to do it using white card. And these are 4 inches and 3/4 by 5 inches. And again, I'm going to round the corners as well, just to make it even prettier. I also wonder, do you have a round punch in your stash? Please let me know in the comments down below. And if you do have it, please let me know how often do you use it and if you're happy with it. I would be really, really curious. So now when this is ready, I'm going to adhere the first one with the left hand side panel using my liquid glue because I do have time to maneuver them. And with the other one, I have to make it slightly smaller because I forgot to do it before I adhere it on my mechanism. But do not worry, you can always do it. There is always a way to save your beautiful project. So I'm going to use my guillotine, and when this is ready, now I'm going to stick it on the back. Super cool, right? Just make sure you don't put any glue now on that plastic sleeve, because if you do, the mechanism is not going to work. Have you ever created that double slider card? If you haven't, please let me know that you haven't, and I really, really encourage you to check all the videos that I left the links to in the description down below. And if you do like some of them, please create your own version and share in our Facebook group. And next month, we're going to create a different fancy fold for you. So now when we turn it over, I need to line it up with the line on the mechanism. I'm going to use my red liner tape again, burnish it, and use my pokey tool. Super cool, right? And as you can see, at the beginning it looks a little bit overwhelming, but to be honest, it is not that difficult. All you have to do is to use your trimmer or guillotine and actually some of the design papers from your stash that you haven't used in a long time. So now, as you can see, my mechanism is ready. All we have to do now is to test it. And to be honest, the more you test it, the better it is later. So now, we can adhere it to the front of the card. And I'm going only to put some double-sided foam adhesive on those tiny elements at the top and also at the bottom. So to do it, I had to cut those parts a little bit. It was super easy. However, if you use any double-sided foam adhesive, I encourage you to put a few drops of liquid glue, then double-sided foam adhesive, peel off the backing, and then add a few drops of liquid glue as well. Because in time, actually, that double-sided foam adhesive dries out and it might lose the stickiness, and that's not what we want, especially for those beautiful handmade projects. And if you have joined our Facebook group for fancy folds, I really wonder which fancy fold is your favorite and which one was the most surprising for you to create. Please let me know in the comments down below. And as you can see, when this is ready, I'm going to peel off the backing, add few drops of liquid glue, and then adhere it at the front of the card. And what's really good about this 7 by 7 inches double slide the card, you will have plenty of space to write your message on the back. And I think this is crucial, especially for those very special occasions. So now when this is ready, I'm going to burnish it a little bit just to make sure it is secure. And then I can move on and actually adhere the front of the card because I'm going to cover those beautiful green and cream hearts because in the end, it is the first communion card. So I'm going to use a different design paper from my digital collection, and I really wonder what do you think about this color combo for this special event. So as you can see, I'm nearly ready to put the front of the card. And as I told you, in this collaboration, which is hosted by Monika, PaperMona, we also have Katarina, Christine, Jenny, Sabine, Kerry, Emma, and Denise. And every single project they created for April is absolutely stunning. So please have a look at the amazing tutorials. So as you can see, I'm going to finish off with that foam adhesive. And when this is ready, I will need the panel that measures exactly the same as my card base. So that will be 4 inches by 7 inches. And to be honest, for every single white element, I use 300 GSM white card because I really wanted it to be very sturdy. So now I can decorate it. And as I told you, I use one of the design papers from my digital collection. And this one is with flowers. And it has to be slightly smaller. So it will be 3 3/4 by 6 3/4 of an inch. I also rounded the corners just to make sure every single thing will match on my card. I'm going to use my liquid glue later, but I also decided to use that beautiful embossed white card, and I'm also going to round the corners just for extra interest. And if it doesn't work, you can always use your scissors to fix it. Now, I wanted to adhere it on the card, but I thought, no, let's add some more interest. And from my stash, I've got this paper ribbon I die cut some time ago. And I'm going to put this sentiment there, which says, on your first communion day. And I'm going to use my liquid glue to put those elements together. When this is ready, I thought something is missing, especially on that white background element that you can see at the top. And to make it even more special, I use some of the die cut elements from my stash. I also use some gold card for extra interest. And please let me know, how often do you use paper ribbons for your cards? I think they add that amazing elegance to your project. And what's really good, you can use your scraps to create them. And that's what I actually do. I don't throw away my scraps. I create smaller die cut elements for my future projects. And if you don't do it, I really, really encourage you to do so. Now I'm going to add here that embossed card. And when this is ready, I'm going to add a chalice and also some other elements to decorate it. I thought if I only leave those flowers, it will be a little bit too much. And I really wanted to have some balance, especially with those white elements on the left and on the right, which you can pull for that double slider card. So now it is nearly time to finish off the card, and at this point I was really thinking should I add some pearls or not, but in the end I decided against it. And if you have any scraps piece of card, especially white, and I'm assuming you do have different white cards, like I do have here, it will really make a difference with those tiny elements on the card. It is still white on white, but with extra interest. I'm getting rid of the excess of the glue here, and those die cuts come actually from the Polish brand Craft a New Design. And I have to tell you, I really like this brand. It is quite new to me, but I absolutely enjoy working with the alphabet cutting dice and also those first communion cutting dice as well. So now the cut is complete. Please let me know, what do you think about it? Would you like to give it a go? I really, really hope you do. There is plenty of space to write your message, and it stands proudly on a flat surface, and it fits into 7 by 7 inches envelope. So don't forget about our hashtag FFC Challenge 2023. In April, we've got double slider card for you. Check all the links in the description down below, but also the videos you can see here. Thank you so much for watching and staying with me. I really hope you enjoyed this video and I wish you lots of inspiration. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting! Bye for now!